Quick, hand me the shovel. Did you find something? I think I see something down here. What? Let me give you a hand. After an hour of digging through roots and dirt, it finally came out. The men stared at the wooden box that lay covered in dirt at the bottom of the ditch. Who's going to open it? Go ahead, break it open. All the men gathered around with their shovels and banged on the huge lock that wrapped around the treasure chest, with chains on all sides. It's not breaking. Wait, what's this? Looks like a secret compartment. A latch opened up on the front side of the lock, and out came a small piece of paper with something written on it. Hold it carefully. It's so old it looks like it will blow away into the wind any minute. It read, "Hear me all and listen good. You've come far into the woods. Just a little farther and you will see, in the distance, an everlasting tree. Beneath it lays the golden treasure. Another hunt? To find the key to open this old piece of junk? Bring your axes. I can't go any further. Break this thing." The men gathered all their tools and hammered at the box, only to find inside lay another treasure chest made of steel. "We have made it this far. Are we going to give up now? Let's send someone to the village and see if the people know of any mysterious tree." A few miles out of the forest, you come across an old lady sitting by the road. You walk up to her when she suddenly starts shaking her pot of coins. You drop a few coins into her pot and ask her if she knows of the everlasting tree. She gave a big laugh, showing her broken teeth. "Why, have you found the lost treasure? Everyone finds the lost treasure here. At least one person asks me every day about the tree. 10 miles away from the village, you will come across a river. In the middle of that river floats a small piece of land. There grows the mysterious tree. Will I find the key there, old lady?" The old lady shook her pot again. You take the last of your coins and drop them in. You will find what you need there, but beware what you choose. You can only take once. Whoever dares to return falls under the curse of death. "All right there, old lady." You walk to the direction that she showed you, thinking, these foolish villagers. There's no such thing as the curse of death. The closer you got to the river, the more remote the village got. On the way, many of the villagers asked you where you were headed. On hearing about the tree, they shivered and ran away. You finally stand by the bank of the river and you can see the tree in the distance. It would be at least a 20-minute swim. You look around to spot anyone who could take you there. There was no one. All of a sudden, a hand held your shoulder. Need to get to the tree? You jump and turn around. A young teen carrying some bamboo paddles pointed at his small boat. "Let's go." As you near the tree, you notice thousands of keys tied to the branches as if they were fruit. The teen chuckled. "Which one will you pick? Which one should I pick? Legends say only one is the key to the real treasure, and all the other ones are to the boxes of fool's gold. Do you think you have the right match? You can only come once, otherwise what? Whoever tried coming back for a second try fell into an eternal sleep in the shade of the tree, and soon death. We end up having to bury them in the graveyard on the other bank of the river." Yeah, we'll see." You jump out of the boat and stare at the keys. You see one shining brighter than the rest and decide to take that. You hurry back to the boat, already imagining what the gold would feel like on your hands once you open the treasure chest. You definitely had the right one. You followed the ancient map. Now it was up to the key. Or else what? You'd find a way to break that box. It took you until evening to reach back to your men. You bent down to the lock, stopping for a while. You were having doubts, feeling depressed. What if the key wouldn't fit? You put all your thoughts aside and put the key into the lock. To your surprise, it clicked, and in fractions of a second, you were looking at 100 pounds of shining gold. The men cheered and jumped in happiness. "We'll take this to the city tomorrow. In only a few hours, we will have bundles of cash at our feet." You couldn't sleep that night. The hours passed by so quick, you didn't even realize the carriage had reached the city already. That morning, you took it to the goldsmith shop. The goldsmith stared at you with huge eyes as you opened the door with the men carrying the huge chest into the shop. "What's this, young lad?" "We have found the treasure of the village of Chikawaga. How much are you willing to trade it for?" "How much is in it?" 100 pounds of gold. You opened the treasure chest, showing off the glimmering gold. The goldsmith was almost drooling. He picked up a chunk of gold and laughed. "Young lad, you've been fooled. This is fool's gold." Have you ever heard of fool's gold? Now, we all know what gold is, but we probably also have heard that saying, All that glitter is not gold. There is a reason people say that, and one of them is because of fool's gold. Before getting to know what kind of gold you have stumbled upon, don't forget to subscribe and press the notification button to get updated with new interesting videos. Gold is no magical fairy dust, it's a chemical element. It's a shiny, soft, bright yellow, or golden as they say, metal, and it is very rare. Gold is often found in its pure elemental form as it doesn't react with many other elements. It is found in the form of grains or nuggets in rocks in stream beds. As you already know, gold is one of the most valuable metals in the world, and because of its rarity and beauty, it has been sought by people for thousands of years now, and is used in many practical uses in industries and of course jewelry making. The discovery of gold has at many times throughout history sparked a frenzy. Let's take for example when gold was discovered in the American West. Thousands of people began moving west with hopes of mining gold and getting rich. As the new miners went out in search for stream beds of gold, they found gold and made money. However, some unfortunate ones among these gold lovers found what is known as fool's gold. And ever since then, they dropped what's in their hands, began pulling on their hair and crying, "All that glitter is not gold." What they found was pyrite, a shiny mineral made of iron and sulfur. And pyrite looks an awful lot like gold. However, pyrite is not a metal. It's an iron sulfide with chemical formula FeS2. Don't think pyrite is useless. It's not. It's not as valuable as gold, but it also has its uses. In the 16th and 17th century, it was used as a source of ignition in firearms. This mineral gets its name from the Greek word pyrites, which means in fire. It got its name for the fact that it can create a spark when struck against steel. If you strike a piece of pyrite with hammer, it will give off sparks. On the other hand, if you hammer a piece of gold, it will flatten out or change shape without breaking. Today, pyrite is often used in industrial purposes, and as it is attractive to a certain extent, it is also polished and used in inexpensive jewelry. Not only is pyrite not as valuable as gold, but it also doesn't keep up with its shiny look. It is harder than gold and more brittle, and unlike shiny bright fancy gold, when pyrite is exposed to oxygen, it tarnishes to a dark ugly brown. And once you get a look of that, you can imagine how those people felt when they thought they had just picked up a heap of gold, but what turned out to be fool's gold. So how is pyrite and gold distinguished? With a few tests and close observation, it can be seen that there are of course differences between the two, although deceiving at first. Firstly, gold is usually found in the shapes of nuggets or sheets, while pyrite is found in crystals shaped like cubes, octahedrons or pyritohedrons. Another difference is that gold is soft and can be cut, while pyrite is hard and you cannot even scratch it. Now, this one comes at a bit of a shocker, and makes you wonder how people didn't spot the difference immediately. Gold doesn't have any odor, while pyrite smells like sulfur. And what does sulfur smell like? Rotten eggs and stink bombs. Although fool's gold turns out to be one disappointing find, there is some good news that goes along with it. It is often found near sources of gold, so if you look around some more, you might be able to land some real gold. The only fool would be the one who stops searching once they hit a piece of pyrite, or fool's gold.